Oh man, I'm so excited. We are back in the Finger Lakes in New York for the next 10 or so days. Alright, we have officially made it on the water. One thing that took me off guard is it's hot and there's still a ton of grass that's alive here. That all said, I did not bring my punch rod. I did not bring my frog rod. Yeah, dang, it's like too shallow. Kind of interesting. Oh, got one. Well, maybe they are shallow. Some little ones might be. Here we go. Yeah, we knew they'd be here. Get in the boat. Get in the boat. Man, New York always treats me decent. Yeah, buddy. All right. Figured out a little something. That one came up and got it. I'd be willing to bet if we had a frog, we'd catch these fish on frogs. Well guys, that will conclude our first trip out in New York. It wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't the worst either. We're gonna venture to some new waters. That is one of the other great things about the Finger Lakes. There are so many great fisheries, rivers, canals, places you can go within an hour. That's it for video 1 from New York, and I will catch you guys in the next video for part 2 of New York. Alrighty, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The New York series part 2. It's actually the day after the last video, which was our first trip in New York again. Out here for about 10 days or so. It is fall and it's chilly. And our first trip out, we spent most of the day actually rigging up the Slayer Max 10, put an NKA 180 on it, put some new Bioeno batteries on there, rigged up some rods and reels, got some tackle ready, and then by the afternoon we made our way down the road to Cayuga Lake. And honestly, it was not what I expected. When we got out there, it didn't feel like fall. It was hot, the water was calm, and I thought I may have missed something, meaning a frog rod and a punch rod, and that actually held true. We didn't get bit for about 3 hours. We tried some offshore stuff, some deeper water with some moving baits, not a single sniff. We decided to move shallow for the last hour. We found a pad field and tied on a little boss scrub with a little 1/2 ounce tungsten weight and started flipping pads in less than 2 foot of water and got a few fish. We salvaged that trip, and now it is our second trip in New York, and today we're going to an old faithful spot. This is the Canal. This is probably the first place that I really started to fish out of a kayak almost 7, 8, 9 years ago, and it was just a really good place to kayak fish and, you know, get in some skinny water. And of course it held some fish. Not a lot of big ones, but numbers always seem to be pretty good in this little canal. And though I haven't been here this time of year in many years, I do know that when the water temps cooled down, when the air temps cooled down, the leaves started to change. Typically there would be a lot of fish in the canal this time of year. That's definitely what it feels like today. Today's a little bit brisk, definitely hoodie kind of weather, so it feels like more of a fall day. That is the plan today, guys. We are taking out the kayak on the canal. We've got a few more rods here rigged up, hopefully more prepared today to get on some fish, and it is about 7:30. I'm gonna say we're probably gonna spend about 5-6 hours out there and see what kind of damage we can do. Enough talking, let's get rigged up and get out on the water. Get started, I suppose. See lots of little bait in this little creek arm of this canal. It's a good sign, I'd say. Start with a frog just to see if there's anybody willing to come up. Maybe some shallow fish too. Oh, something pulled it. Dang it. I'm getting a few bites. There might be small ones though. Oh, dang. See a good one right there. Had my jig right there. There's 3 decent fish under that dock right there. No one wanted the jig, really? Interesting. Oh, I see a real big one way back there. Oh. Well, at least I know they're under the dock. I just have to maybe switch up the presentation. Jeez, could have made a bigger splash, could I? Got one of them. And he broke me. How is that possible? How did I just break off? What the heck? Man, sloppy fishing in New York so far. Real sloppy. I have no idea how I just broke off. Must have rubbed a zebra mussel or something. At least one ate it. That's a good sign. Well, let's try that again. That's where the big one was, on the back side. Way up shallow. There's 2 big ones over there. There we go. There we go. That's how we're gonna catch the better ones, I think. Jig. Yeah, buddy. I knew they had to be biting a jig. You know? Dude, these fish are fat fall fish. Cheater jig works in New York too. Okay, that makes me feel better because I was really confused as to how I wasn't getting these fish to eat a jig. There's some clean bottom under all these docks and it's choked full of grass otherwise, and okay, that makes more sense. There we go. Yeah, jig, buddy. There we go. That's why we come to New York, right there. That buddy. See see, these are the fish that are under these docks. There's bigger ones too. Jig definitely weeds out the small ones. I think that was the right choice. Get rid of that little drop shot. Canal's still good. We'll make our way out of here, and we will certainly fish it thoroughly at the end of the day. All the old stops. Bridges typically have some fish on them. A lot of small ones, but there can be some good ones under these bridges. We'll see. Man, not a single fish on my favorite tree. That's interesting. Nothing under the bridge, nothing on this big giant tree that in the past has held fish, but it may be just a little too late in the year. These fish might have left. It's like when the water temp, I think below 60 out here, these fish in the canal either go in the marinas or back out to the main lake. And you can tell, obviously not just by the temperature, but the water gets like gin clear, and it's really clear right here. You can literally see if the fish are there or not. Well, yeah, that might be a sign. If we didn't get bit on two of our favorite spots historically, that might be a sign as to where these fish are and what they're doing. Let's do this real quick before we go in the marina. As we do every so often, you guys can tell we took the graph off today. A little more real estate space to work with. I figured we'd be frogging today. I love fishing to my left, and big old graph gets in the way, so our trusty substitute, the deeper. All right. So right now, about mid channel, 3 meters, got 16 degrees Celsius. Yeah, water's pretty chilly. Kind of a nice thing too, just to show some of you guys, this is the Fish Deeper, the premium version, upgraded so we have a map. Kind of sick of going back and forth between this and Navionics, and honestly even my Raymarine and Navionics. So got a nice map here, shows you exactly where you are, and as soon as you turn it on you can track your route, make waypoints. But yeah, like I've mentioned many times before, good little portable fish finder. See depth, I mean right now don't really care too much about depth because I can literally see to the bottom, but water temp is nice, and then the map feature is pretty cool too. You can see here where we fished, made our way under the bridge, nothing, and now we're coming up on this marina right here. We'll see if there's any fish in here. Oh my god, maybe they are in the marina, and that's a big one too. Oh my god, first cast in the marina. Holy smokes, that's a real big one. I don't even know if I can boat flip that. I don't think I can boat flip that, but I'm gonna. Oh my god. I think they're in the marinas. That's a nice one. There we go. Well, we know there's fish in marinas, and they're eating a jig. Thank you, sir. Okay. Right against that seawall. Man, really surprised that's the only bite we got in the marina. But we'll take it. Oh god. Oh my god, I got a frog blow up. This is like the perfect day ever. I was literally just about to say, the only thing I can think of on this main canal that might get bit is way up shallow. One thing I've learned based on yesterday's trip out on Cayuga, flipping in like 2-3 foot pads, to today seeing fish in the marinas up under docks and even like the very base of the docks where it's the shallowest. That's like one thing I can say we've learned, is that the fish are really shallow. I bet you there's a bunch way up there. Another bite right there. I think it's just a small one though. Oh yeah. Not that small. I thought he was way smaller than that. The way he kind of nipped at it. Dude, come on now. The question is, this is our second trip out. I'm probably gonna get a few more. How do we leave a bite like this? Jig and frog? That's literally just too much fun. Oh my god, there's another one. Jeez Louise. That's 3 bites in like 10-yard stretch. Alright, you know what this calls for. Oh my gosh. Give this a little flavor. Alrighty. Oh god. Oh my god, I saw him. He was huge. Dude, that was a 4-pounder. How did he come off? Oh my god. Dang it. Dang it, dang it. I'm so sad but so happy at the same time that they're eating a frog in the shallow. I don't know how that one got off. Oh, that was a big one. Dang it, dang it, dang it. So, let's go with a standard frog. This will come through a little easier. Alright, that should be money. Oh. Something. Try to get it. See if fish sticks worked. Second chance. Get a little taste of it. Dang it. Oh, just missed it. I didn't even get it that time. Let's let him settle down. Let him settle down. Just gotta imagine where in the grass did he go. Part of me wants to throw it in the pockets like the little blowholes he made, but at the same time I think it's easier to trick those fish when it's on the matted vegetation. What the heck, dude? Over 3? For real? 4th time's a charm? Oh God! Look at that one. That one just kind of slurped it. Another shallow fish though. Nice fat fish. That was the first one in like open water. It was actually kind of in those lily pads. It is not that deep up there too. It's got to be a foot of water. Wow, sent him to the moon. Oh my God. Dang it, how did I miss that? It scared me, that's how I missed it. I don't think I put a hook in it, so we might have another chance here, folks. It seemed like a good one. Oh my God, that was a big fish. How are I missing it so bad? That was another big one. We saw that one. Oh my God. Will you give me a fourth chance? I know so many of you guys are yelling at your screen right now. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's a big one. I knew there's always fish on these trees. On these trees, that's another big one. That's another big one. I see another one over there. There. Well, this is a weird looking fish. It's got black lipstick. It's a nice one. No complaints. Yeah, the bites kind of slowed down. We're not getting a whole ton of bites, but catching them on a frog and a jig, I love it. I absolutely love it. Alrighty guys, trip number 2 in New York in the books, and a lot better than our first one. Good old trusty Canal. Can always count on the Canal for some fish. And again, like I mentioned, this is where I really learned to kayak fish. Fished a lot of the first couple of years I had kayak, and numbers usually are pretty good here, just not the biggest fish in the world, though we did catch some solid ones. Just to recap the day, we fished the marina right near the launch. Saw one stinking dock that had probably 6 or 7 quality fish on it, you know, 3 to 4 pound bass. Just couldn't get those fish to bite. We were trying a lot of stuff this morning. Top water didn't seem on. We even tried to finesse some of those fish, but couldn't get any of those bigger fish to come in. This time of year, historically, a big profile jig, so you know, our good old cheater jig we brought along. Ended up catching a couple of nice, better quality fish around the docks before we left the marina this morning on that jig. Good way to start the day. Then we ventured out into the main canal, checked a few spots that historically have really produced a lot of fish and a few quality fish. Didn't get a bite after a little while. I noticed the water was just really clear. You could see all the way to the bottom. No life, no activity. So I kind of used that information based on what we knew from yesterday, some shallow fish and then some marina fish. Our fish may have drifted away from the main canal and into the marinas. So we went into the next marina. It was literally the first cast with the jig. That fish must have been right up against that seawall. Stuck another nice quality fish, big fish of the day. Really clued me in that, yeah, definitely marinas was a deal today, but shallow. Shallow was gonna be the name of the game. I didn't want to give up on the main canal just because there's so much fishable water. So we ended up going back out there, went down a few miles, picked up the frog, and one little stretch, we got 4 bites on the frog, the popping frog. So that told me, all right, well, there are some fish on the main canal, but we need to go shallow. These fish are shallow, which I'm kind of surprised is the case, but I mean, at the same time, not fall fishing. You're either catching them really deep or really shallow. So we messed with that for a while. Got a few more bites on the frog, a couple of swings and misses. Mixed it up when we found some deeper wood, caught another solid one on the jig, and then we turned around, we fished our way back, but not another bite. Guys, that is going to do it for video number 2 of the New York series. As mentioned, a much better day of fishing for us today, and I'm excited to try a few new areas during this trip. We're getting a really big cold front tomorrow, so it's gonna be like in the 30s, I believe. I'll be kind of curious to see what this big cold front does to the fish, what it does to the conditions. Still excited to be back in New York fishing with Finger Lakes. It's an awesome place to fish. As always, I thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.